All right. Time for some shit talking. G.I. Joe. Retaliation. All right. Where do I begin? It's got The Rock in it. Whenever your franchise is going downhill or needs a boost, just insert The Rock. Works every time. That's fine. We all like The Rock. I like The Rock. I think he is an awesome roadblock that couldn't have a better choice. That's fine. Didn't have any problem with him in it. I don't necessarily think I wanted to watch The Rock show because he kind of turns out to be the main star of it, and that's not what... I mean, it's kind of like Will Smith being in Suicide Squad. The first Suicide Squad, it was... I wanted to see a Suicide Squad movie. I wasn't wanting to see a Will Smith movie. I love Will Smith. I have almost all of his movies. I like a Will Smith movie, but that's not the movie I wanted. I wanted to see Suicide Squad. With this, I wanted to see a G.I. Joe movie. I wasn't going to it to watch a Rock movie. And the biggest problem I had with this movie is they killed my man right here, Duke. Yeah, Channing Tatum gets killed in the very beginning. I mean, it kind of starts out that it's going to look like Duke and Roadblock have this cool buddy, relationship, and they're teaming up. They're putting the Rock in there. Channing Tatum, I mean, he was Duke. You don't kill Duke off in G.I. Joe in the second movie at the beginning. What's the matter with you? It still had Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, which everybody's favorite. That's cool. They ended up in the whole history of G.I. Joe. Snake Eyes turned out it was never evolved around him. He wasn't the centerpiece of the G.I. Joe cartoon, but like in a lot of different franchises, like Star Wars, Luke was the main character, but some of the cooler characters end up getting to be fan favorites, like Han Solo. It wasn't centered around his story, but a lot of people like Han Solo a lot better because he's the cooler character. Boba Fett, he was barely in the original Star Wars movies, but he became one of the huge fan favorites. Now Mandalorian, biggest thing in Star Wars right now. So, but Duke he's like him and Clint from my childhood. They were always like, the leaders, and you kill them off. No, you don't do it. This is the other huge problem that I have with this movie. That is not Lady J. This is Lady J. This is not. Now, I know they always gotta sex it up, but it's just, this is Flint. I don't know what this is. This is not Flint. This is Flint and Lady J. This is a Flint and Lady J that get too attractive people, sex it up, and shove it in the movie for today's hormonal standards. I don't know. The guy that played Flint, that is not Flint. He didn't even do anything in the movie. I mean, if you're gonna go as far as killing, where's he at? Duke. If you're gonna kill Duke, then you better take Flint and have him kind of be the leader alongside Roadblock. And the only reason they gave it to Roadblock is because it was The Rock and whatever. But Flint didn't do anything in this movie. It's this whole thing. So there's no Baroness, no Scarlet, no Ripcord, no Destro, no Hawk, no Heavy Duty, no breaker. Yeah, I mean, no. I don't even think there was any mention of him. And they take Bruce Willis, and I don't know if in like the cartoon or anything, if there was any explanation of why they were called Joes or a character. I mean, there might have been, but they take Bruce Willis and put him in there. It's just, he just seems out of place. He's playing the same character. Like when they introduce him, he's coming down from the ceiling. It's like, how high is that ceiling? And he's just, it's just ridiculous. He's playing the same character as in the movie Red. And this G.I. Joe movie came out in 2013. Red 2 came out in 2013. So I don't know. And the other thing that they have a character, the Blind Master, and they've made mention of him in the comics, in the cartoon, but they've never really, I don't think they ever showed him or anything. And they have RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan playing him. And when I first saw that, I was like, this is so corny. And I know him, like, I don't know him, but that actual person, RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan, is hugely into like kung fu. Like it's a big part of his life. It's a big interest, and he made some ridiculous Iron Fists or something movie, which it's not something I would watch, but it just seemed ridiculous. He did a good job. The kind of the second time they showed him, when Storm Shadow is, he's explaining they kind of retconned his story where he didn't actually, Storm Shadow didn't actually kill the what is it, the Hard Master, that Zartan did that and kind of tricked him and trained him to be like a villain. And that part where they were showing the Blind Master, that seemed okay, but just when I first saw RZA and he's supposed to be blind, and it's like the blind kung fu master from the old TV show Kung Fu, when you take the pebble from my hand, then you're ready. It's like, it's kind of like a ripoff of that. And I mean, it just seems so corny. I don't know. We got Zartan back. The character, or the actor, Arnold Vosloo, however you pronounce his name, he's back as Zartan, but you don't, the actor Arnold Vosloo is barely in the movie. The actor Jonathan Pryce he's in the movie a lot. You probably remember him from Pirates of the Caribbean. But he kind of plays Zartan. I mean, he plays the president. Zartan is impersonating the president. But Price is in the movie way more. There's only really a few shots of the original actor that plays Zartan, which, I mean, whatever. But I don't know. This movie just did a lot of weird stuff. And I've always wanted to see the twins, the Crimson Twins, the ones, I think they had like a scar on both of their faces, but it was on opposite sides of each one of them. If you tried to stuff all of the G.I. Joe characters in one movie, it would be bloated, but I would have kind of liked to have seen the twins. I just remember them from watching the cartoon when I was a kid. So at least we get Cobra Commander still. He's not played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which I know a lot of people. It was a big cheese fest for the first movie in a way. A lot of people didn't like it, but at the time I appreciated kind of the backstory and the surprise and reveal that the character that Joseph Gordon-Levitt played, the Baroness's brother, turns out to be Cobra, and I liked it. I nowhere that I know of in the comics or the old cartoon was that storyline similar in any way, but for what the movie was at the time, I like the backstory of all of the characters, and I just did. And So in this, Joseph Gordon-Levitt doesn't play Cobra. He looks more like Cobra. He's got the Cobra commander, you know, outfit on, his uniform. He's got the face shield. He's like Cobra in the whole thing. But when they go and rescue him at the beginning, they just leave Destro there, and Cobra turns and he's like, "Destro, you're out of the band." And you don't really see, I mean, all you see is Destro's eyes in that Bantha tank or whatever the hell it is. And it was like, what, were they, couldn't they get the same actor that played Destro? Did they didn't want to put the budget up for doing his like face the whole time? Or, you know, like Destro was always in G.I. Joe. It's like, that was really disappointing. That took me out. I remember watching it the first time with that part, just leaving Destro. I mean, he's right there. It's not like they, I mean, at least they made mention of him, but it's not like they never made mention of him and just forgot about him or said he's somewhere else or something. I mean, they show him, he's in the tank right next to Cobra, and then they're just like, "You're out of the band." It's like, why did they? I suppose if I looked it up or researched it, I could find out why they did that, but it was just really disappointing. It was one of the many things that just took the movie way down for me. And where's Gung Ho? You know, I always liked Gung Ho. He was, when I think of G.I. Joe and like a group of the characters in my mind, I always see Gung Ho. I remember a little action figure, the old ones when I was a little kid. I had Quick Kick, and looking at it now, it's kind of ridiculous. He had his karate pants on, but then he never had a shirt, but he had like an armor belt across his chest with throwing stars. And when I was a kid, I thought that was cool because I was growing up. I was always into throwing stars and nunchucks and martial arts and stuff, but like, I don't know how they would have done that, but that would have been kind of cool to see somebody like that. But the saving grace of the whole movie, and it didn't save it, in my opinion, was, you know, The Rock is always awesome, perfect roadblock, and then they had Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. But one thing that I really, really did like, for the moment that it was there in the movie, was when Storm Shadow gets his gear on and he's going out and he stops and he like pauses, and I don't know if he saw him out of the corner of his eye or if he ninja senses him, but turns around and there's Snake Eyes and they start fighting. And I thought that was kind of I don't know if you go as far as call it an epic fight scene or battle, but that was cool. I really liked that. And Storm Shadow starts, you know, chucking his throwing stars, and then for a second, you know, Snake Eyes has his two automatic guns and using them to shoot down the throwing stars. And for a second, I'm thinking like, well, these are kind of like two ninjas. Like, why are you using machine guns? But then, like, instantly I'm like, well, it's Snake Eyes. I mean, those are two of his biggest weapons. He always has those dual guns. So that kind of laid in with the, you know, how it's supposed to be. But that fight between them, I thought that was very cool. And I am really glad, and I really appreciate them having the two actors play Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. It's the continuity and everything that helps a lot. And Ray Park is always awesome in a role like that. So I mean, I hope they reboot this. They have to. The figures are huge. Everybody likes G.I. Joe. So hopefully they can do something else, something better, and you know, get it on track. Okay, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and smack that notification bell so you're notified each and every time that I come out with a new video, and I'm coming out with them all the time. All right, until the next time we enter the multiverse, I will see you later.